The failures at Dakar had been a political disaster for de Gaulle and the Free French movement. While material casualties would be light, the slew of colonies that would join de Gaulle's movement were grinded to a halt, as were the plans to have West Africa act as the hub for French resistance. Instead, they would have to settle for the less developed Equatorial Africa. Even still, the colony of Gabon refused to join de Gaulle. This Vichy-held land would pose a threat for the entire Free French influence within the continent, and as such, more blood would have to be spilled between kin. It is October 27th, and the Battle of Gabon has begun. After the conclusion of an armistice between France and Nazi Germany in June of 1940, there was a confusion as to the allegiance of the various French colonies. Some, like Cameroon and French Equatorial Africa, would join de Gaulle's Free French forces, while virtually all others would stay under the puppet state of Vichy France. There was hope that diplomacy would be able to win the day. However, the British attack of the French fleet at Mers-el-Kebir turned much of the public and the colonial authorities away from peacefully joining the Allied war effort. Thus, it was decided that the only path forward was bloodshed. Gabon's governor at the time, Georges Misson, had pledged Gabon's allegiance to de Gaulle's France. However, he met immediate resistance from the French population in Libreville, the capital of the colony, as well as large sections of the church. Thus, he was forced to rescind his pledge, and a roundup of Free French sympathizers would quickly occur, many being arrested or transported to Senegal. Unlike Senegal, however, Gabon was not something that could be left, as stated by de Gaulle himself. Thus, plans were quickly drawn up for the invasion of Gabon. Even prior to the committed invasion of the colony, sections of Gabon had already fallen to Free French forces. In early September, the chief administrator of the Gaulle province rallied to the Free French, taking the majority of the province with him. The 15th brought about yet another victory, as Colonel André Perron with a dozen men had surprised the French commander at Port-Gentil, the second largest city in Gabon. Through hours of discussion and plenty of bluffing, Perron had the Vichy forces surrender without firing a single shot, managing to take the city's port front. It wouldn't be until late October that further action would take place. On October the 27th, the last Vichy stronghold within Woulinetit fell with the fall of Mitski. Control over Penjinte became hotly contested, and Free French forces under General Philippe Leclerc left Cameroon and would quickly march towards Libreville, the capital of the colony. The Vichy forces that came up against Leclerc would surrender en masse, with 200 of them switching sides voluntarily. Lambaréné, the last Vichy stronghold before Libreville, fell with minimal fighting on November the 5th, and Libreville itself on the 10th. The last of the Vichy forces within the colony would surrender just 2 days later. Thus, it would leave the whole of the French Equatorial Africa in the hand of the Allies. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. It costs you nothing, and I wish you all the best.